Have you ever walked into a hospital and a doctor or a nurse asked you what your blood group was and you didn't even know? Well, I have fallen countless times a victim of that, and I think it's very important that you and I both get to know what our blood groups are, and that is what we're going to be discussing this fine, beautiful morning. My name is Shivan. Joining us this morning to give us more insight on this particular issue is Dr. Henry Dungu. Good morning, sir, and thank you for being a part of this conversation.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me once more.
It's always an interesting time to see you. But this morning we're going to be looking at blood groups.
Yes.
Now, first off, yes, we understand what a blood group is all about, but we need to understand what are the different types of blood groups that we have.
That's a really good one because, as you said, many people have no idea what their blood type is. In life, God made a way of differentiating people in different ways, and one of them is giving each one an individual blood group or blood type. There are basically 4 blood types. There are people who are blood type A, blood type B, blood type AB, and blood type O.
Those ones. O.
So we have O, we have AB, we have B, and we have A. The reason why each individual is given a blood group is because of the expression of certain proteins. For example, those with blood type A, on their red blood cells, they have what we call the A antigen. And then in their blood or plasma, they have what we call anti-B antibodies. But we're not going into those details. Only to show you that there's a way we can actually differentiate by the way these red cells express the proteins around them. For each of the blood types I've talked about, group A, and by the way, when I say type, it's the same as group.
Yes.
When I say group A, group B, group O, group AB, each of them usually has something else added, where they say A positive, B positive, and I hope you know what that one means.
Yes.
When you are A positive, it means you are now expressing another important protein.
You have
called
an added advantage.
the D antigen. If they say someone is blood group A positive, or they say A negative, it has clinical implications. Because if I'm blood group A negative, I will not receive blood that is A positive, because the blood will react and you get into problems. So basically, if you look at those, it means we have 8 blood types. We have A, we have B, we have AB, we have O, and then you add on. For each of those, it is either positive or negative for the factor called the D antigen or the rhesus factor.
Okay.
So those are the types.
Okay.
It's very, very important to have a rough idea. But still, even if you don't know your blood type, you don't have to worry. Because there's no you go to a hospital and I ask you, what's your blood group? You say, I am blood group this. And I say, okay, give me blood group that. Give me blood of this group. I'll have to validate. Anyone to get blood products, they will have to retype to understand. Because many people think they have this group, when actually they don't have that particular group.
Now, doctor, I don't know if you've heard this kind of myths. Well, this statement to me was told to me. I mean, there was a time someone told me that you're too emotional. Musai big. Just need to understand. Looking at the characteristics of some of these blood groups and breaking them down, what does each blood group, what is that characteristic that makes it stand out?
I don't think we've been able to relate one's blood type and their behaviors. Those could be coincidental. But we cannot tell you that there's evidence to say that because Dungu is group O, he's doing this and that. We have not been able to characterize that yet. It's something that we can start thinking about, especially our colleagues in either social sciences or health sciences, to start analyzing things from that end.
So why is it important for one to get to know their blood group?
It's important to have your blood group known, not only by yourself, but by the hospital, for a number of reasons. First of all, for a woman, it's important to know your blood group.
Why is
Because
it being put on the woman?
assuming that you as a lady, you are childbearing, and your group, whatever, but negative. For example, A negative, B negative, AB negative, O negative. If you are having a blood type that is negative for the D antigen, it means you are at risk of making your child, unborn child, get into complications.
Yes.
Because assuming that your baby that you're carrying is having a positive group, O positive, you are going to cause what we call alloimmunization. And eventually, the antibodies of you, the lady, will destroy your child's blood cells. And then we get into severe complications.
It's very dangerous.
It's very, very dangerous. So it's important, and that's why when anyone goes into antenatal, one of the first tests is to type, what is your blood type? They will ask you, but it's not important. The health workers have to confirm, and they say your blood type this. And even when they confirm, if time comes and you need a transfusion, they will not depend on what is in the file. They will still reconfirm that your blood type is this. The reason I'm emphasizing that is if you give the right blood to a wrong person, the chances of causing serious injury is so high. If I'm blood group A positive and you give me blood group B positive, you get a serious reaction and you can die. Okay? So it's very, very important to do that.
Now, looking at blood group O, why are they regarded as universal donors? Because very many people have come out to say, I'm blood group O, I can give you blood. Yes, we understand that it's the strongest blood, but scientifically, why are they universal donors?
When I was saying why we type blood, I talked about the special proteins that are on the red blood cells. And then the special soldiers that are in blood. When you have blood group O, you don't have those proteins. The antigens are missing. And which means you are going to have the soldiers for both A and B, anti-A and anti-B. They are all present. And these can help to stop the fights that are unnecessary. So a person who is blood group O negative is the official universal donor.
It's O negative specifically.
Because O negative can give blood to anyone. Because even if I'm group A positive, when you give me O negative, I will not have an issue. But if I'm O negative, and you give me A positive, and you give me O positive, no issue. If I'm A negative, and you give me O positive, there'll be an issue. Because now the positive is the other abnormal protein called the D antigen. It causes a bit of confusion, but when you don't have any of those other proteins, then you become a universal donor. And then a person who is blood group AB technically is a universal recipient. When you are AB, you can receive blood from A, blood from B, blood from AB, blood from O. But still, if you are AB negative, you can only receive all those but in negative. You understand?
Yes.
Yes. You not say because me I'm AB, I can get anything.
For those who are watching, I'm sure they are saying now AB, B plus. They are very important factors.
Yes.
But you talked about an issue of donation. And I think it's very good, the fact that even in Uganda we have these different drives for people donating blood and all these things. But you talked about the fact that some blood groups cannot give the rest. However, when we are looking at donations, which blood groups cannot completely give to the other?
Any blood group can give another blood group. For example, blood group A will give someone who is group A.
Okay, so that two can actually give themselves blood.
Yes, they can give themselves. Group B can give B, or can give AB. Okay, so because in society we all have different blood groups, that's why we all have to donate. Because you never know, someone is there dying because they don't have blood group B. You go and donate blood group B, it helps them. And it's extremely important to donate blood because we don't have any artificial blood. Even if you went and ate these red things, and when you need a transfusion, it has to be a transfusion. If a doctor says what we need is a blood transfusion, it means your level is so critically low that you need blood.
But then there are cases where people have had more blood than they actually need in their bodies.
Now that's an interesting one because there are those who don't have blood, so we say they have anemia, and then we have those who have a lot of blood. The technical word is called polycythemia, where you have enough blood or more than enough that it even causes you complications. So that's a disease. Also, having low blood is a disease.
Interesting.
When someone has very high levels of blood, the treatment is to take it away and throw it away. We don't give it to someone.
Well, that is a conversation that we shall indeed have another time on Sunrise at Sea.
Yes.
But thank you so much, Doctor,
You're
for
welcome.
bringing more light and shedding more light in relation to what blood groups are all about.
Thank
And to the viewer out there, I hope you are able to pick a thing or two from here. After this interview, I am going to find out what my blood group is because I have found out it is very important to understand what your blood group is. It could save you a lot of stress. And that winds up the conversation that we had for you this morning. Don't blink.